So in this video, we'll be discussing very quickly 3 reasons why Arsenal will end up as Premier League champions by the end of this Premier League season. So if you're an Arsenal fan, it's time to get excited. Let's jump right into it. The first reason, Arsenal have the best defense in the league, arguably in the whole of Europe. You can just imagine having players like Calafiori, Timber, Gabriel and Saliba as back four. You can argue that these players are the best in their position in the whole of Europe right now. Of course, there are players who, can definitely compete with these people right now. But beyond just having these guys as starting 11, there is also the players on the bench. Kelly, Muskera, Hincapi, and of course, Ben White. These are all players that can step in at any given time. If, for example, there is injuries to any one of these starting players, any one of the players on the bench can plug in and there will be no drop in level whatsoever. This has been the bedrock of what Mikel Arteta has been building, and this particular season, everything seems to have come full circle. You would see that, as I'm going to show very quickly, in the Premier League table, this season, Arsenal, after playing 7 games, have conceded only 3, the lowest in the league right now, and that goes to show how solid and how disciplined this backline is. The second reason is actually Arsenal's attack. You'll be thinking that the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City have a very solid attack, but I can tell you that this Arsenal's attack is beyond just the players on the pitch. So in a typical starting 11, you will see the likes of Eze, Gyökeres, and Saka. But beyond even these players, there are players on the bench who always come in, as you've seen in the last couple of weeks. Martinelli, who is in form, Trossard, who can always come in and make an impression, and then of course the likes of Madueke, who is currently injured. But then there are players also who are still on the treatment table, like Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz, who are, on any given day, they can come in and change a game. But the main guy in this attack is actually Victor Gyökeres. That guy is very scary as a striker. If you're going to play Arsenal and you're going to have to defend against a player like that, that already gives you something to really worry about. 2 things about this attack. One is the ability of these players. Of course, Bukayo Saka, he just completed, 100 goal contributions in his first 200 games for Arsenal. And you can imagine what the future holds for a player like that. So yes, the second reason why Arsenal will actually win the Premier League is their attack. And if you look at the Premier League table right now, you will notice that Arsenal have almost the high, after 7 games, 14 goals scored, second to only Manchester City, who have 15. And this is an Arsenal side that have not even fully clicked and have played very difficult games. They play Manchester United away, they play Liverpool away at Anfield. They've played also so Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest, and a few other tough games like that. So for them to still have, the second highest goals, imagine having the lowest goal conceded and also the second highest goal scored, shot by 1 only to Manchester City. That tells you that the future is really bright for this team. And if you look at it, Manchester City is basically just Erling Haaland doing extraordinary things. That's number 2. Number 3 is overall the squad depth of this squad. I've talked about the defense, I've talked about the attack, but overall, the quality of the squad. And the thing about squad depth, it's not just having players or numbers, it's about the quality of what you have in that squad. I've seen Opta stats coming out to say Arsenal favorites to win the Premier League and also favorites to win the UEFA Champions League. But what is truly impressive about having this sort of squad depth is the fact that as injuries continue to happen to every single club, you'll have the likes of, in the previous seasons, we've had Odegaard go off injured, we've had Bukayo Saka injured, we've had Saliba miss a few games. But none of these things have made Arsenal drop a momentum or fall off the race. That tells you that the board, Mikel Arteta, and of course Andre Beta have done a very excellent job in setting this team up for success. I'll give you one more bonus reason. Mikel Arteta is really hungry. He knows he has to deliver big things this year. His contenders, the likes of Anslot, his first season, he was lucky to win the Premier League. He did a good job anyways. But that takes the pressure off him. But in this current season, 2025-26, you will see that Mikel Arteta has the most pressure. The likes of, Pep Guardiola, he's legendary. He's already done it. He's won several Premier League titles and the Champions League. And he doesn't have the same level of hunger as Mikel Arteta. And you can see it clearly in the intention, the discipline with which Arsenal, game management for every single Premier League game so far this season. You can see that intent there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Arsenal will end up as Premier League champions at the end of this season? Or is this another year where they're going to finish second and start to look at all the things that could have gone wrong for them at the end of the season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.